in the Old Testament, and he gonna say it in the New Testament. John 9:31, read that.
Whom thou hast chosen, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. We just read that in Deuteronomy that his chosen people was the nation of Israel.
You realize there's no power in that.
Right.
But when you start arming yourselves and reforming, when you start militarizing, that's when the problem occurs.
That's right.
See, Americans out used to deal with effeminate men. Men ain't gonna talk back to you correctly. We not those men. We gonna tell you you go wrong.
That's something against him. You don't even have a balls to admit that he's your enemy. He hates your guts. He's done so much violence against your people and continues to do that same violence unto this very day. That's revolution.
We learned about slavery, or where we were, or what we've done from up until that point. But prior to that, we didn't do anything. Slavery started, it's documented as early as 1535, but most people go for between 1612 and 1619. Yeah, but hold on. All right, so about 1600 years, you gonna tell me that this people, that when we got here, we made traffic stoplights, curling iron, made all these inventions and all these innovations that still greatly influenced the fabric of our society. But for 1600 years, when we were left alone to govern ourselves, we didn't do anything. If we can create all this, innovate all this, still have a pride about ourselves, and we were here as slaves. You can still read as slaves taught themselves how to read and write, had a desire to learn. They still, outside of their plantations, if they were allowed to leave, sought craftsmanship, sought trades, and were useful assets to their masters. And you're gonna tell me we did all of that while in chains, but we didn't do anything before we were free, and we had our own land, our own language, our own people, and our own government.
Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know.
He said our people don't know. Read on.
My people does not consider.
We don't even consider. It's people, grown people out here that have gone to high school and college. 25 plus years old, got kids in the whole nine. And I ask them, if we couldn't live here anymore, where would you go? And they said, that's a good question. You lived 25 years and you've never considered that? You've never considered where you came from before slavery? You never considered what our people were before we were slaves? What did we invent? What did we innovate? What language do we speak? You live 30, 25, 30, 40, 50 years, and you've never learned that. But be so educated, so smart, they say you're too smart for your own good. Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will tell thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
He said, ask thy father, and they will tell thee. And I talk to people about the scriptures all the time and history all the time. They say, you in school? I said, no, I read on my own. Did your parents teach you? Our parents didn't know. We've lost our heritage. It's not just like it's a couple of years away when somebody forgot to give us the memo. We've lost this as a whole, as a nation, young and old. Nobody knows where we come from. From the great-grandmother, from the newborn. No one has a knowledge of self. No one has our language or speaks our tongue. No one has our history or our records with them. Just oblivious. Like the scriptures say, as grass. It comes up, then you die. You come up, then you die. You live for nothing. You live to die, and you just continue the process with the next generation. Jeremiah 17:4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
Now who does that sound like? He said, you shall discontinue from your heritage. With the Negro man, we have no knowledge. We cling to anything and everything for a sense of identity. Either they claim it conscious, they want to be everything is toxic. They claim Africa, but it's only 2 countries in Africa you're going to really roll with. You're going to roll with Ethiopia, and you're going to roll with Egypt. That's it. Don't claim that little sliver and that little sliver. Africa's a big place. Don't claim we all came from them 2 little spots, because they're the only ones not bathing themselves in urine or wiping defecation upon themselves. Don't claim them the only, just because those are the only ones that have some kind of sophistication about themselves. Because if you look into history, a lot of times they got it from us. You can look up Alexandria. We had civilization. You can read Babylon and Timbuktu. The Israelite man was there. We helped the Africans the same way we helped the Edomites. The same way the Moors taught the Greeks how to bathe themselves. Didn't nobody get no flavor till we got there.
That's right.
America, they came over here. White people, white men came over here. They hunted belts, and they took them all the way back to Europe. They didn't even know what to do. Then they got slaves, and they had us built up an empire. It didn't pop off till we got there. Read that from the top.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
He said, and you're going to serve your enemies. Not only are you not going to know who you are, you're going to serve your oppressors. With the Negroes, we have no knowledge of self. But with the Latinos, they say, well, if America became uninhabitable, I can go to South America. I can go to Latin America, as they call it. They have a language and a land. Okay. But who did your people get conquered by? Oh, the Spaniards. What language did they speak? Spanish. What language do you speak? Spanish. That's not your language either. Even the Spaniards, the conquistadors. Bartolome de las Casas and Hernan Cortez. Look up their names. They were Catholics too. That's why Catholicism is so heavily taught amongst the Latino men and women. They said, well, my parents taught me and I teach my children, but who did your parents learn from? Go back far enough. Our traditions have not always been as they are now. My parents taught me Christmas. Where did you get that from? Well, it's in the Bible. Find it for me. Google it. Everybody got a smartphone. Google it for me. I need to see where Christ said he was born. Even if you see where he's born in the winter, I'll be satisfied. Okay, well, the winter's only 3 months. We can guess it. We can wing it. I mean, December 25th is about in the middle. He was born. And they, come here, man. Do me a favor. Say that to the camera. He was born when?
He was born in the spring.
He was born in the spring.
Died in the winter. You gotta remember, there are summers and autumn. It's right. From America.
Right. Now let me ask you this: what did Christ look like? Oh, he was the same as you. Can you say that on the camera for me? What did Christ look like, just real fast?
Same as everybody. Same as you. Tall, dark skinned. It doesn't matter.
Now,
because there is no race unless you call it humankind.
Now you lost me, but you have a good one. But he said, Christ looked like me, tall and dark skinned.
Question they said, so who did he come for? Who did Christ come for?
Israel.
He came for his people.
That's a damn shame, man. If I wasn't on the mic, I'd step off for a minute and say it to you. Now you have a white man just walked by, and I said, well, who does Christ look like? He said, well, he look like you, tall and dark skinned. Who did he come for? His people. Now you have all these black people around, all these so-called Christians, and we don't even know this history. We the main ones repping God. Got the God, what is it? God can, the hoodies. Got the fattest cross you can buy from the Slauson Squad meet. Got the Bible in your windshield and in your rear view. Got the Jesus tattoo. Got the praying hands on the shoulder. Got the little fish with the Jesus sitting on the back of your car. You just love it. And don't know nothing about none of what's said in these scriptures. Don't even know that that man was here for you. That this was a man of your nation. What? Hold on. Don't know anything about Jesus Christ or this book, or how our history is even written right here. But let a white man walks by, not even his book, he's well versed. I remember we went to the beach. And we were building a sandcastle. And he said, oh, that's like the walls of Jericho. Keep that trumpet handy. I looked at him and I said, I'll be damned. You know more about our history than we do. At the time, I think I had just read the story of the walls of Jericho. And he like, keep that trumpet handy, those walls will fall. And they know your history. They know your knowledge. They know who you are. And we're the only people that's walking around oblivious and satisfied, content with the scraps. It's just like a dog. If you take some ribs and you clean the meat off the rib, but you can give the dog a bone and he'll be happy. Wagging his tail, running around, doing circles, go bury the bone because that's his most prized possession. I don't want anybody to have this and I don't want to lose it. I'm going to pee all around it so I smell the smell and I'm going to bury it right here because I can't lose what's most important. And they done gave our people a bone and we run around. Oh my God, look what he gave me. A bone. A job. Look at my Benz. Look at my car. Look at my Jordans. Be so satisfied with the scraps. I was at work and I saw the total amount of money that I made for that job in that day. It was about a little over $17,000. I had an 8-hour shift. I said, that means I make about $2,000 an hour on average for the company. I get paid $10.50. 10% of $2,000 is $200. 1% is $20. Half of that is $10. They pay you 0.5% what you make for the company. 0.5%. Look up, it's an autobiography by a man that was born a slave, died free. Olado Equino. He was born a slave and he died so-called free. And he said his master, he was very skilled. And he had learned crafts from other slaves. Whenever he got the chance, his master would send him to the store and he would take a long time coming back because he would try to talk to other people to learn a trade. And his master needed help and he saw that he was skilled, so he lended him out. He said, okay, go work for the Johnsons. Go work for the Bradleys, for the Wilsons. Go work for the Wheat and come back. He would make about $2,000 in a week. He let him keep about 15 cents. What is this? I done made you $2 and you giving me a couple of cents. He giving you the bone. He giving you what you think he's giving you what he thinks you're worth. They said it in the Matrix. They do everything in their power to make us this. And he held up a battery. I bet people was like, what? Went over your head. You work and work. First you get charged. First from your conception, from your invention. You're charged. You go to school, which you can't avoid because that's considered a truancy. They give you your education. They give you what to know, what to learn, and what you're expected to know. You're charged. Then you're lended out. You get put into use. You get sent to work. You get sent off to the plantation now that you've got enough skill. Learn to read and write, know some math. Okay, you can be a great cashier. You'd be great at making $10.50 an hour. Then we work. They give you a little bit of what you earn. And at the end of the day, when you get too old or you start slipping, you ain't got it like you used to, you get moved out the way and they bring in somebody younger, more naive, for less than what they was paying you. You're a battery. You get used up until there's no charge left and you get tossed to the side. Now when's the last time you threw away a battery? Can you even remember? No, it's not important. After it's done, it's done. It's used for its purpose. Go ahead.
Baruch chapter 3 verse 8. Behold, we are yet in this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
He said, we're this day in the land of our captivity and subject to payments.
See these 12 stars, defenders of the law. Tiger wasn't up to par for this. Scandalous, murderous, evangelist who's girded up, ready to die for the words of the script. We too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons, I'm telling where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail and bell. You rhymed to frail, you stepped in the zone where we excel. We too wise to be dumb. The hell with ice, we want the kingdom. Let's get out these sons, I'm telling where we from. Israel, you heard this, tuck tail and bell. You rhymed to frail, you stepped in the zone where we excel. It's on.